you. But can we be seen and heard for the lounge? Can we be seen? Can we be heard? Can I do the copy? No one's typing. What's audio? Good, good, girls. Thank you so much. Fucking had me singing for that long. I hate you. Hey, guys. Welcome to the Symphony. Symphony Entertainment, Gaming, and Arts. We don't really care because we're here tonight with the Symphony Lounge. Hey! Which is basically where I bring on a guest that I typically think is cooler than me. We hang out with that guest. We talk about things related to Symphony. We do giveaways, and sometimes we do thirst traps, and we talk about our guests, and we poll questions from our backers. And I have somebody very special on tonight. Somebody that I really want to reach through this camera and like hug their face for multiple reasons that we were literally discussing right before we went live. Special, delicious guest. Please tell these wonderful people who you are, what you do, where people can find you, and what you did for the Symphony for the month of March.
Hi everybody. Name's Carl. You've probably seen me popping up on the occasional stream over the last year. I mostly just kind of haunt the Discord. I paint miniatures in my free time. And I'm here to just do a quick talk back and lounge. I'm looking forward to this. And I ran Symphony's first longer form game through the month of March. I did an Alien game that was very gratifying to run because there were parts of it that were campy as hell, but everybody seemed on board for it. So if you haven't seen that yet, do yourself a favor. I had an amazing cast. My game was okay, but I had it completely upgraded by my cast. So, yeah, I've been doing that, and I've been helping out here and there, making some hold screens and announcement flyers and things like that. So,
yes. Okay, I want to jump into the Alien game, but I think this is a good time for us to drop a backer question first. Let's get you teed up for this one. I did get a note from Doc that you are coming in a little quiet. I upped his gain on my end, Doc. Is he sounding any better? Talk to us, Carl.
Yeah, let me make one mod. I have I'm pretty sure my microphone auto adjusts.
Beautiful. I heard Booch say just a smidge more.
Just a bit more. Just
a
bit more.
For the Booch and the Tommy and the Doc and everyone in chat and the Doc. All right, I'm going to max you out on my end and we'll send thoughts and prayers.
Okay.
Needs more. Always needs more. Oh, okay, so he's chiming in harder on my end, guys. How does he sound to you now? Carl, talk to us again.
Sound pretty good.
We good? Y'all can't be in the chat making demands, and then when I ask a question, y'all motherfuckers go away. Like, that's not how this works. Fine. I'm going to move on with my date chat. Y'all continue to talk to us in the background. Let us know how he sounds.
Right.
Good enough. Thank you so much. Okay, yep. Carl, coming in from the backers, this is a brilliant question. This is a conversation that you and I have had. Carl should be up his game on a bit, but we can't hear him. Okay, small victories. This is a conversation that you and I have had at Origins and at another convention that we were at. And it was a great question from our backers. It's horror gaming is actually a new venture for you. So what is it about horror that speaks most to you when it comes to gaming? Like, what is it that has attracted you to horror? Because you're doing a lot of it now.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of interesting. I never considered myself a horror gamer. I always kind of looked at the systems that were out there and went, yeah, not for me. Like, I don't really feel like running from the big scary thing. That's not my jam.
Yeah.
But I got two things actually happened in very rapid succession. I began to develop an appreciation of, I kind of grew out of the generic system phase. Like, when you're running Fate, Savage Worlds, those are all great systems and they perform really well. They don't do horror very well though, because they're not designed for it. But like, yeah, it's like, okay, well, yeah, okay, there's a big Gribbly coming for me. My dice still explode. And
right.
Boom, I killed it by the rules, so go away. But I developed an appreciation for mechanics supporting themes and actual things during play. Right a couple years before you ran the one of your one-shots for Alien for me, and I was like, and like those two things just locked into place, and I was like, oh, this there's some potential here. There's some good shit here. And at the same time, I don't know if a lot of people have seen it. The HBO series Chernobyl.
Oh, I did
Um,
watch Chernobyl. Yeah, 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 yeah.
that was a historical drama shot like a horror movie,
Oh, good
and
articulation.
that it kind of lit my brain on fire with the possibilities story wise. So about the same time, I got mechanics can support this, story can support this. I've probably been cutting myself off from a whole range of experiences in RPGs, um,
Mm.
which is kind of why I've thrown myself in so much with Symphony, because nobody I know in my normal groups would be down for a lot of this horror gaming until I get good enough at it, and then I'm going to see if I can drag them kicking and screaming.
So I just as a point of clarification, did you just make the
Yeah,
statement until I get good enough at it, I'm gonna start bringing them kicking and screaming?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and embarrass Carl in front of everyone at Symphony right now. Symphony, Carl, your Alien game slapped. Cast is still talking about it in our private thread. It was a phenomenal run of a brilliantly done game. You won best game last year at Symphony for Lovecraft is Dead for running a horror game. Babe, your Am I Good at Horror ship has already sailed. I don't know why you're not on the ship.
Because I have, ever since I started running games, even though I've been doing it for like 25 plus years now,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter if I'm running D&D or something completely off the wall. Every time I sit down, I have like wild imposter syndrome.
Yeah, that's fair.
Every single time. I was just like, this is not as good as you think it is, but you promised these people to entertain them for a couple of hours, so go forward.
Right. Fair, 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 fair. I think the imposter syndrome is something that even the most experienced and even the best of us still experience, which is why I'm still going to sit here and embarrass you live and be like, yeah, your ship is already sailed, babe. I don't know if it needs to cycle back and come get you, but you have already done more than enough to establish yourself as an accomplished storyteller in horror. And that's a feat because horror and
Thank
comedy are
you.
two of those genres that people typically can do very poorly at in an attempt to do really well. We
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
No, you're welcome, and I'm not blowing. I trusted you with the first, GM to come on and run a long form story because I know how well you tell stories. So yeah, no, you were rocking and rolling, baby. Booch is in the comments talking about we all got that imposter syndrome, homie.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's stay here. I'm gonna ask
Sure.
you the second backer question. All right, if you, dear Carl, could write an adventure based on one of the iconic horror figures in literature or movies other than aliens, what would it be and why would you choose that figure?
Okay. So I would like to do something that would be a little bit weird. I'd like to combine it, like Pennywise or a
Okay.
Pennywise like creature, with the first 45 minutes of the movie The Village.
Nope.
Because I'd like to take that and I'd like to tell a horror story over several generations, but it's set in one place. So like start in like the 1700s and you run a couple of sessions and each session is with either those characters much older or their descendants or someone who's connected to it, and then they have to figure out how to not defeat the creature but placate it or make it go away or get the hell out of town, whatever the actual end goal is. But I think blending something like that with Pennywise, which is a very silly creature in and of itself, except when it's not.
Yeah.
And seriously, the first 45 minutes of The Village was an amazing setup for a movie that just immediately yeeted its concept off the cliff.
You're like minute 46. Yeet.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable. Chat is very excited and also very uncomfortable.
I'm gonna have to run this now, aren't I?
You what? So, it's literally in the chat. I said somebody tell Carl he's got to run it now. Okay. Not to put you on the spot on this one, but to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
If we could convince you to come on and run, I can't believe I'm about to say this out loud. Pennywise versus crossed with the first 45 minutes of The Village. What system would complement that the best? Is that BRP? Is that year zero? Is it what would you do? Cthulhu Dark? What would you do?
it might actually be something where, depending on the vibe I'm going for that session, I'd use a different game system.
Oh,
Like, if we get to the modern day and there's like guns and radios and stuff like that, I'd probably use, Year Zero,
okay.
because that actually works really well with that kind of action horror. But if we started out back, in the before times, like, I'd probably want to use something like probably some kind of apocalypse world hack. I'm sure there's something
Ooh.
that's close enough to that. Because what I'd want to be a central focus of the game is kind of the village or the land itself. So I'd have to go digging for game systems for that. But I would basically keep looking until I found a mechanic that got its hooks into me.
That was a great articulation, by the way, Carl. Bucho and I, production daddy and I, are already planning your life out. So we both really like the idea. Yeah, congrats. Welcome to the symphony. We both love the idea of using different systems per different episodes, different eras, because to your point, it's going to change the landscape dramatically. The system
Mm-hmm.
is always going to embed itself and help tell a different story. Even aside from the narrative, the system drives so much of the storytelling. Would you use the same cast members, or would you do different pockets of cast members to represent the generations going through?
Would be either or. I mean, if people wanted to play, if we wanted to get a cast together for like another like 3 to 5 shot,
Mm-hmm.
and then they play different characters each time, that would be cool too. It could also be cool to do kind of like an actual ensemble thing where it's the same story going through, but we could get, half the backers to end up playing in it over the course of the time.
There are so many different ways that can go, because if we do repeating cast, it's always great for cast to be able to call back from their previous experience as a different generation, but it's a different
Mm-hmm.
landscape, to your point, because it's a different system. There's also something really delicious about having like 5 different episodes with like 5 different set of cast members, but all of
Mm-hmm.
them have a single thread that's running through them. So like, let's say you did a cast of 3 people for all 5 episodes. Whoever is like my pinky finger on all 5 episodes, we could get on our own channel in Discord and have a conversation about the
Mm-hmm.
legacy between our characters. And ooh,
Ooh, I like that idea. That's a cool idea.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
set you could set it up so that you knew roughly how many sessions you were playing and
Mm-hmm.
draft everybody at the same time and go, okay, you're for session one, you're for session two, you're for session three, but
Yeah,
you're all playing this family line.
yeah.
So talk about it in a side channel, come up with stuff for the family, and like drip feed it to the rest of the cast.
And then drip feed it to the rest of the cast over the course of those 5 episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that way, even when you're not actively playing, you're still rooting for
involved.
somebody or you're thinking about it.
Yeah. Okay, so added layer to this thing that we're creating for you. Congrats. I hope you're ready for this in 2024, because Bucho and I are going to schedule it. Um
Yeah, I guess I'll get cracking on it.
right. Time to get to work, babe. Okay, another pitch. This is just a pitch. We're
Yeah.
storyboarding, we're building out your game for you right now. But really fast, Bucho said, chat should know these are the kinds of conversations that happen behind the scene within 10 minutes before becoming a thing. That is a fact. Okay. So lineage channels. Each of these characters have their own lineage channel. And to your point, even if they're not playing, they're still involved in the overarching story. It would be really interesting if, like, let's say episode... No, it could start with episode 1. It wouldn't matter, any of the episodes. The lineage is in the chat watching and can feed the player information if they're comfortable watching the chat. That could be a whole different thing, too. There are
Yeah.
so many different ways that we can... Okay. From theoretical question to full-on project in less than 5 minutes. This is the Symphony way. This shit wasn't scheduled, guys. It's damn sure not on my itinerary.
No, this is unfortunately how my brain works. This is why I'm syncing up decently well with everybody in this channel. Hey, you should run this. Yes, I should.
Yes, I
And I
should.
should make it more complicated than the original suggestion.
Absolutely. Let's add 5 systems to this storytelling. Let's add 30 cast members that all talk to each other in separate threads that you have to monitor. Okay, good. This is definitely a thing now. I'm super excited. Okay. All right. We are going to hop off. of questions. We're coming back, don't worry.
Mm.
And we're going to do an announcement. Okay, so Carl just brought up Symphony backers. This is a great time to have a quick conversation about Chaosium Con 2024. If you guys do not know, I work full time for Chaosium. One of my many hats and duties that I wear over there is I'm the head of programming for Chaosium Con. So it will be coming back in Ann Arbor for 2024. April dates through dates. April 18th through April 21st. So much of Symphony is going to wind up being at this convention. However, if you are a backer of Symphony, and just to throw this in here for you guys, there is the link. Event registrations actually opens this upcoming Saturday if you're trying to register for events. Symphony took a plunge, and we are actually running a backer invite only LARP on Thursday night following the speakeasy. Backers wrote up the inspiration and the skeleton of the LARP, and then my co-storyteller, Heinrich Moore of Heinrich Moore Presents, and I stripped it for parts and then rearranged it into something deliciously horrifying. And following the speakeasy Thursday night, Symphony is actually going to be hosting our very first LARP. This is the first LARP that I've ever written. This will be the first individual LARP that I've ever run. Heinrich has never LARPed before, and when we looked at the poll, it's like 70% of the players have never LARPed before. We don't know what we're doing, and we're about to have a really, really good time. So Heinrich and I are almost finished with characters at this point. If you are a Symphony backer and you would like to get in this LARP and you have not signed up yet, please, please, please reach out to me either on Facebook or email or Discord and express your interest. And then if we still have the room, I will write you in a character and get you going. So again, this is for Symphony backers only. This is kind of like our pilot, our trial. Let's see how it goes. If it works, if it soars, if it sings, we're probably going to be doing it more regularly, and we'll start opening up our numbers and getting a little bit more aggressive about it. So that is an announcement coming down the Symphony pipeline. Now I'm going to smack Carl with another question. You guys see how smooth that shit is? Before I ask you this question, Carl, actually, before I ask you the next three questions, I think, because they all tie in great for the question I'm going to insert in here. You ran... How do you pronounce the goddamn game now? Sanguis X Cannabis? What is it?
Sanguis X Cannabis. Blood from the Darkness. I typed blood from the darkness into an English to Latin translator. And I won't do that again because I want you to be able to pronounce the games that I run. That's on me.
You know what? To be honest with you, not being able to pronounce it was hella entertaining for me for at least a month. So that works. And all the spellings all over the place was good times for me. Talk to us a little bit about your design strategy, your playtesting, your rollout, and kind of just you developing that game. Because some of the questions that I have, regarding buy-in and whether or not someone needs to be familiar with the alien universe and a couple other questions tie neatly into you just explaining what you did for us here at the beginning of March.
Yeah. So, I think I mentioned this in the talk back, but I got inspired to do this by a quartet of adventures that Fantasy Flight put out a couple years ago in their Warhammer 40,000 line, which is also a horror universe that I really like now that I think about it. But so they told the story of this one place with all of their different game lines kind of intersecting there. So what I wanted to do was start with the most substantial storyline, and the one that I thought would have the most emotional impact of a colony that was working, that was beyond the, in Aliens, they call it shake and bake of LV-426, like a colony that was actually working, it was producing, everything was fine, and just a series of accidents, because I like the idea of having the players answer is like, okay, well, do you value your lives or do you want to fight for this little slice that's yours? Like, the universe hasn't provided you with much, but are you willing to fight for it? Because that became the core of it, I started thinking about the xenomorphs less as a like an individual problem and more as like an ecological problem to deal with. Because I realized, like,
good call. Okay.
I was thinking about how, like, all the players are going to know, or like most of the players will know how the xenomorphs work. And thankfully, everybody leaned into the fact that their characters didn't, and you made discovering how it worked horrifying in the game, which was fantastic. Um, but honestly, all it would take is like a 20-page how-to guide, and you could find xenomorphs and stop them like that.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, obviously, there's more to it than that, but like, one of the reasons they're so dangerous is because nobody is allowed to talk about them. Like
Mm.
every time they come up, Wayland Yutani buries the information, or some government buries the information. So I thought the idea was like they could actually recover from this, because if the colony's big enough and they're willing to fight for it, they might be able to win. Um, so that was just kind of the whole thing. And then um, I literally woke up at one point um, in like 2 in the morning, hit the bathroom real quick, and went, I need to end the second session with a predator. That was like, because they were part of the original scenario that I ran for my buddies when I taught them Alien. Um, but they were very perfunctory, and they kind of just showed up and got brushed aside. In this one, it was so much fun to have one on the scene.
Yes. Yes. And by the way, just while you're here, can you please pick up that mask? I know it's
Uh,
close.
this one,
Yeah.
this one right here.
Oh God.
God damn it! Here, there we
Oh, there we
go.
go. Absolutely. Uh, Dude, I need to go back and rewatch the moment where you're like doing narrative and things are super intense and we're looking at the time and we know we're getting ready to go, and the episode before had this really crazy cliffhanger where all the lights went off, we were locked into a room and there's just skittering in the walls and la 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 la, tension. And then suddenly your Zoom camera twitches and we can't see you really well, which, when you have the artificial backgrounds, that happens. And then
Yep.
we're like, what the fuck is going on? And then you're wearing that mask. And the camouflage of the Zoom screen trying to accommodate the mask looks just like the
It actually
camo
did, yeah.
malfunction.
It did.
Just like the camo function on the damn Predator. And all of us are sitting here like, are we in the middle of AVP? Did this MFer and you're like, and that's game. And we're just like,
Yep. That was extremely gratifying to me. I had to, so there was like 4 months between when I decided to run this instead of Old Gods,
yep,
because that was what spawned the whole thing. Was I
that
was
was.
gonna run Old Gods, but the vibe wasn't quite what we were looking for
Mm-hmm.
when it was Evan ran the
Evan
first
Randy,
one.
yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, and he ran a great game, but
He
like
did.
during the talkback, you were like, "This feels very D&D," and I don't love that.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Um, so I ran with this, and I've been working on it for like 3 or 4 months, and I had to keep my yap shut about the fact that predators were going to show up for months.
That had to be so hard because that was
It
such a
was it was
delicious
tough.
reveal. We were so upset. I don't. That was probably one of the angriest talkbacks. Cause I think Sam was the only one that was like, "Let's be civil about this." Because Doc Bucho and I were like, "You motherfucker!" That was I mentioned this in a talk back, and for backers who don't have access to it, you're kind of get a peek into what we do when we finish up from the episodes and we talk with each other. But like, there were so many cliche things that happened during that game, Carl. Everything from like the Predator showing. I was like, oh, okay, so now we're in
Mhm.
AVP, got it. Or the chest burster. Everyone kind of expects that. Or just like even that incredible moment where Sam's character destroyed an alien, a xenomorph, in front of the Predator, and the Predator stopped the scene, showed deference, and then handed her a gift, handed her the cannon
Mhm.
from the arm. And we were all like, because that's such a cool fucking moment. Those are the stories that you tell from generations to go when you're playing in other horror games. They are also the things that can be done so poorly that it takes away all the magic from the moment. But babe, you stuck the landing with the magic in that. Oh my god.
Thank you. Yeah, and you raised a really good point because it's like, yeah, those moments are really campy. But one of the reasons camp is a thing is because it can be really fun if it works. And
If it works.
I'm glad that it worked. I'm
Yeah,
really glad that it worked because that could have landed very badly.
it could have. It could have. It could have been like,
Um,
really? Oh, she's. But it. So, why did it land as well as it did? Do you know why? Have you thought about why?
I mean, it didn't hurt that Sam flat up said that she had been watching Alien versus Predator.
That's true.
Um, I think actually partly because Alien and the Predator universe are very cliched universes.
Yeah.
Like they have certain story beats that you have to hit.
Yep.
I learned this by doing a deep dive as I watched the entirety of both series over the couple months.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have there's like almost a heartbeat or a musical tempo to it, and they have these beats that you're looking for. Um, so I was just kind of trying to play jazz with the two universes. Um,
My God, my toes just curled. You are so
um,
symphony. Oh God, it's so good. Keep going.
but
Sorry.
like, no, but like, again, I cannot stress enough how much you guys being willing to buy into it and like have those discussions that would look really good on screen. Like
Yeah.
you and Bucho like discussing, are we going to leave this guy behind? Are we leaving this guy behind? And Bucho's like, yeah, we're leaving this guy behind. I'm like, okay, try and leave him behind.
Yeah.
There's a rule for this. Try and leave him behind.
Oh God, that was so good. That was a good mechanical pull too, because I've read through the Alien
Mhm.
rules way more than any other rules that I've read through. Mostly because I enjoy it, but also because the Year Zero is just one of the few engines that does combat in a way that I actually enjoy. I didn't know
Yeah.
about the mechanic. If you kill or hurt or abandon another human, you have to make a what check is it that you have to do to leave someone
You
behind?
yeah, you have to fail an empathy check.
The,
You have to whatever your empathy score is, you got to roll that many and not roll any successes.
as many times I've read that book, I have not read that mechanic, and that was delicious to have thrown at us. I was just like, oh, okay, okay.
They bury that one in there, and my unofficial title for it is the "Why does Burke not get domed immediately?" rule.
Facts, facts, facts. Other than plot needed it, facts.
Other than plot needed it, yeah. It's like no, because like this guy, yeah, because like Burke's a scumbag, but like mechanically, all those people failed their or succeeded at their empathy checks because like
Yep.
he's a piece of shit, but I want to drag him back and hold him accountable for what he's done.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. The girl failed hers. Was it Lopez? I think Lopez put a gun to his head right before they pulled
Yeah,
her off. That was.
well, no, I mean, but like all the way right up until pulling that trigger, like
Yeah.
that could have been. I could have easily seen that scene playing out with Buja going, "Okay, I'm going to blow this guy's head off," and you go, and like that's when you fail. You succeed at the empathy check. Is like
Yeah.
that moment where you've got the gun to somebody's head, and you go, "Oh, I'm not that guy, though."
I'm not that guy yet. Oh, and it's so good to have a mechanical reminder of your humanity in games. That's one of the things I love about the
Yeah,
torture and the angst that comes with Vampire, because you're a monster, but you're struggling with your predation and your humanity, and it just that struggle, that angst makes it fun.
yeah.
Because even in
That
D
thing
and
that
D, we're like, kill everybody, burn the whole tavern down. We don't care.
that thing that like 80% of people seem to like to jettison because like, and I'm like, this is the core of the game,
Yeah.
though. Like, this is what everything rotates around.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this tees us up for a great question. Then I'll go to
Sure.
another announcement. But one of the backers asked, a reoccurring topic in TTRPGs is player buy-in. So how do you encourage and
Mm.
increase this without necessarily forcing the meta discussion mid-game?
So that was I tried to reinforce it a lot by the character sheets. For those of you
Mm-hmm.
who didn't see the character sheets, they had each character came along with a I think I call them not companion connection. They were a
Connection, yeah.
connection. They were another NPC that existed within the colony
Mm-hmm.
and was going to hopefully be a motivator for them to come back. And I got more buy-in by that. I mean, I think the first hour of the first session was just having little vignettes with these characters and
Yeah.
getting buy-in and having you guys describe them, like their personality a little bit and that sort of thing. Um, that whole idea literally came from a meme. Um, do you know the crab is in mortal peril meme?
No, but I'm about to Google it right now
It's,
because I'll probably
it's,
see it if I know. The crab is in mortal peril.
yeah, just do a search for the crab is in mortal peril meme. I'll post it into the chat.
Okay.
But it's uh, it, it's basically like nature documentaries. Do you see this crab? Do you love the crab? Do you promise to watch and root for the crab? Yes, the crab is now in mortal peril. And like
Oh God.
I I that was so player buy-in. I wanted to do that. I'm liking more and more the idea of giving people little bits of the character they can develop. Like
Yeah.
I can give you mechanics. Like I Bucho chose Ward as
Mm-hmm.
the guy. Ward could have been like a strung out like guy who's been doing law enforcement for years and just at the end of his rope and just barely keeping it together. Um, and instead he was this just like constant North Star presence throughout the entire
Yeah.
thing. And that was entirely Bucho. Like I didn't give enormous write-ups of the personality because I've been finding more and more for one shots or cons or short
Mm-hmm.
burns. It's really, really helpful if the player grabs onto something and makes the character theirs.
Yes, honey. Let them put their own impression or imprint on it. Yes. Yes.
I mean, dovetailing back to the Jurassic Park game I ran at Origins, you sat down with a complete stranger, both picked up the newlyweds, and you guys basically like your brainwaves synced, and you're like, "Are we lesbians? Yes, we're lesbians. It's 1999. We just got married. We're here on our honeymoon. Let's
Yep.
do this." And
Let's
you
rock.
you you played that completely to the hilt. Like you just
Yeah.
went absolutely like pardon the expression, balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall with it. Yeah. Yeah. Because you gave us that freedom to move to the wall, Carl. By
Mm-hmm.
design, by intention, you gave us that freedom to breathe. So we could inhale and breathe into the story what we wanted to because you didn't make it so restrictive that we couldn't move around in our own characters. Brilliant answer to
That
that.
was what I was going for.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant answer to that one. That was strong. I think that was a Chris Bates question too, which was also amazing.
Mm.
Okay, we are going to hop as just a quick reminder. We are hosting a giveaway for the Symphony Lounge. I am giving away the very last set of mystery ugly dice. Are they actually ugly? Are dice ugly? Potentially. I picked these bad boys up at Big Bad Con, I believe, in California, San Francisco, and they're prepackaged, they're wax sealed. There's a full set of dice in this bag, but I don't know what color they are. I don't know if they're metal. I don't know. I know nothing. But they marketed it as mystery ugly dice, and y'all help me. Y'all girl is a sucker for cheap ass marketing. That is all it took. So, if you're interested, we will be hosting the giveaway for this bad boy tonight. I think all you have to do is enter exclamation point alien or aliens. I don't remember what I chose. It's one of them. Try both and send thoughts and prayers. And then I'm shipping to, or you can enter Andy's, which is give me some dice, damn it. For a chance to win the mystery. It's alien singular. Thank you so much, Tony. Yeah, I love you so much. Yeah, so hop onto those dice. If you win and I'm gonna see you at Chaosium, you bet your ass I'm not shipping them. I will see you in 3 weeks and it'll be great and I'll hand them off to you. So that is the giveaway. Oh, okay. I'm gonna mess with Carl on this one. He's not gonna see this one coming. If fancy. I'm actually
Oh,
doing
good.
all
There's
of this.
ambush quest.
Right. And the hilarious thing is I did all that sexy build up and this shit is actually not that exciting. I mean it's exciting, but it's not that exciting. um Next announcement, guys. Symphony is launching a new program that we are trying out called Alone Against the Symphony. You have probably seen the marketing for this bad boy. The last Saturday of every month, starting this month, so actually I'll be streaming on Saturday, Symphony backers and myself are going alone against the Call of Cthulhu solo series. So we're starting with Alone Against the Tide, which will be me. In April, for April 27th. Keeper Skip, who's in the chat right now, will be going alone against the Frost. Backer Keeper Jason on May 25th will be going alone against the Static, which I streamed earlier, so we're going to probably switch up his characters and have him choose some different things, but chat typically chooses where we go and what we do, so can't wait to see how that one plays out. And then I will be finishing us off on the last Saturday of June. That'd be June 29th, where I go alone against the dark. I will be giving away physical copies of. Can I reach and do it? I might see my pajama pants. I don't care. You're lucky I put a bra on for you bitches tonight. We will be doing physical giveaways of these bad boys. So we will be running off of the PDFs, and then I will be mailing to the US because it's like $45 to ship one of these books to Ireland or the UK right now. It's ridiculous. For that, so definitely tune in the last Saturday of each month starting this Saturday. So, Carl, here's your ambush question. I'm going to hit you fast. What I'm asking for is adjectives, impression adjectives. Okay. When you think of Alone Against the Tide, what are 3 adjectives that hit you immediately? Or nouns, just words. I don't care.
Darkness, sailing, and oh God, what's that? What the hell's that name? It's the smell of rain on stone. After
there's a name for that?
Yeah, petrichor. Petrichor.
Spell it, or spell it close.
Petrichor.
I'll be damned. I want y'all to know that petrichor is a pleasant smell that frequently accompanies the first rain after a long period of warm, dry weather. Why does Carl even know that as a damn word? Let me screenshot that.
I had more books than friends when I was 12. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, the fact that you came up with saline was absolutely delicious too, because you have chat loved petrichor on that one. Because Bucho came up with moist and wet because
yeah, no shit. I see you, Booch.
Because production daddy. Okay, all right. 3 words, pressions, adjectives, whatever that come with you when you think of Alone Against the Frost.
Alone Against the Frost. Biting.
Ooh.
Hopelessness and beauty.
Biting, hopelessness, and beauty. This is 100% why you're a storyteller. Chat ain't shit. You've got Skip that came through with emptiness. That makes sense. But for whatever reason, we've got shrinkage and nipples also. Because chat ain't shit.
Shrinkage, nipples, and I swear it's usually bigger.
Chat, y'all ain't shit for that one. Okay, all right. Chat's playing along now, and to be honest with you, that's a brilliant idea that I didn't have before, but here we go. Wow. You said biting, hopelessness, and beauty. Okay, all right. What comes to mind when you think Alone Against the Static?
Discomfort.
Ooh.
Quiet moments, and ozone, like that scent of electricity.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Chat came with balloons. I like that for static. Booch also came with seizure.
Ooh, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. And then your last one, honey. Ooh, I'm excited to see where you go with this one. What 3 words, adjectives, whatever impressions hit you when you think Alone Against the Dark?
I'm gonna go with Alone Against the Dark. It's dark. The dark is so many things.
It is.
I'm gonna go with disorientation.
Ouch.
cold
Ooh.
and not being as alone as you think you are. I know that's a lot more than one word, but
Yeah, but you are not alone. That's eerie. Oh, I like that. Okay. Chat came up with some deliciousness on that one too. Lost is beautiful for Alone Against the Dark.
hmm
Void, whole, and nothing.
hmm
The nothing feels pretty profound when you're thinking about Alone Against the Dark. That one hits in a very uncomfortable place. Uh Andy said magic missile.
Yeah, but I mean, what's the old adage? You're not afraid of being alone in the dark. You're afraid of not being alone in the dark.
Yes. Yes. Ooh, that's good. That's really good. Okay. Okay. Woo. Woo. Way to handle your ambush surprise round, baby. Guys, join us for Alone Against the Symphony. We're coming in hot for 1 to 2 hours, however long it takes our investigators to succeed, die, or fall to whatever peril it may be. Last Saturday of every month, starting this month in March. Another quick content announcement as we're walking into the last 20 minutes of the show here. The Symphony Lounge for April has been scheduled. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about it now, mostly just kind of hype it up. And then plus, we're probably not going to keep this one a secret. We're going to have a whole lot of conversations about it. But the next April lounge is going to be, or the next lounge for April is going to be scheduled for April 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So it's the last day of April, 7 p.m. Eastern. The guest has already been finalized. We are bringing the production daddy. We are bringing Bucho onto the show. And basically what we're going to do is a post-mortem on Chaosium Con. So Chaosium Con attendees, as you're running around, be thinking about the blogs you're going to be writing, the experiences that you're going to have, and things that you might want to feed to Bucho and I to feature onto the lounge. Bucho, this idea just hit me while I was talking about it. We can talk about it on the other server, but do you want to do like video clips, like selfie clips with people at the at Chaosium Con, and then like put those onto the screen? Please write up your experiences. Please write up your experiences. One, Chaosium absolutely loves when you do that shit, and the chances are cross-promote it. So that's a great chance. And Bucho says, hells, yes. And can you find the cheese? So, guys, it is officially a thing. Guys, this is honestly how half the shit in Symphony works. We're just, we be talking about something, and we like, is that a thing? And then we be like, yeah, it's a thing. And suddenly Carl is running a 5-session game with 5 different systems and a revolving cast.
Yeah, that's a lot to take on for 10 minutes in, but
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
It's a thing. It's how your friend Nate winded up running another miniseries of Public Access, because the chat was like, "Hey, do a thing with an all-female cast," and we were just like, "So that's a thing."
Nice.
And chat was like, "That's a thing," and we went, "That's a thing." So the new thing is, Bucho and I, collectively or separately, will be walking around Chaosium Con doing selfie videos and clips. So get ready for all the fun things that you want to explore or say. We will compile those into some type of cute format, and we will play that during the April lounge. Bucho, I'm so glad you're on at Symphony Ad Hoc, honey. So glad you're on board with that one. Maybe you guys will get a picture of me biting somebody. It'd be great. No HR departments. So as we are talking about Symphony Ad Hoc and Symphony being production daddy, this is a very exciting moment to let you guys all know that Symphony is bringing on another member to the back office and the production, and we are going to announce this member right now. But first I'm going to talk about this member like they're not already on the call with me right now. So this member who is officially joining the Symphony's back office, who's officially joining production, is the reason why all of our marketing looks 120% better than it has over the last, 3-4 months? Have you been doing flyers for me?
Couple months, yeah.
At least now? This
yeah,
overlay?
I think it started in like October.
In October, so October, November, December, January, February, March. Shit, you're going on 6 months.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're at Symphony breaking shit. Carl has been responsible for the majority of the digital assets that you guys have seen over the last 2 quarters. And if you're wondering why the shit looks so much better, it's not because I went and took a graphic design class. It's because Carl reached out to me in a blind. It was like, hey, I love it here. I appreciate this environment. How can I contribute? And I went what I typically do to people is like, I don't know. How can you contribute? I don't. You're here. I appreciate you being here. You're a backer. I don't know. And he's like, well, I'm really good with design and stuff. And me trusting Carl enough to surrender that degree of control to go, okay. And then suddenly he starts serving me magic, nonstop magic. So, not only has he been doing the flyers that you've been seeing the upgrade, but if you've been looking at our overlays recently, or our hold screens, or that gorgeous shit that he put out for Alien, that's all Carl. That's not me. That is Carl with the fastest turnaround time that I can possibly imagine. That plus the fact that he's an absolutely spectacular storyteller. Again, he won the best game of last year as a GM. Which, how did you get tricked into that one?
You brought up the idea
Yeah,
and you were going to run it, and I was like, "Oh, hey, I love pulp. I'd love to be a part of this game." And I think you had some sort of work commitment or something that was going to make it tough for you to prep.
yeah, that's what it
Um,
was.
yeah, or you just suckered me into it. I'm not sure.
Both things could be
But
true.
no, I mean, I
Yeah,
read the rules. I was excited about it, and I think you had some reason why you could play but not run it, and
yeah,
I just did.
and
It fell
like you
together in like 3 days.
and again, you stepped up like you've consistently been doing, which is just stepping up, holding your weight, adding so much value not only to community but now to the business. So, guys, welcome officially to the Symphony, our newest production staff member, our production assistant and digital asset creator, Carl.
Hi, everyone.
Yay! Carl, we are so. Are you even on the other server yet? Have we added you yet?
Not yet, but it'll
You.
happen eventually.
Bucho is now calling you Asset Daddy, which personally I'm completely okay with. We'll keep your title how it is for reasons of
That's
real
that's
life,
fine. That's
but we're now officially calling you Asset Daddy. Welcome, 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 and genuinely thank you for the relief that you've provided, the value that you've provided, and for still being here because you are fucking crushing it, and Lord knows we appreciate it.
I'm happy to be here.
Lord, not as happy as we are. Listen, because my ass with a fucking flyer. Okay, so let's crush out these last couple questions here.
Sure.
When dealing with writing Alien, do you think it's important for the players to be familiar with the Alien franchise in order to get a good play experience? And then how do the dynamics change when you have Alien naive players in the group? Ooh, that's such a good question.
It is a very good question. So I don't know for sure because I have not yet run for somebody who doesn't know what they're getting into
Mm-hmm.
playing this game system. Although I would say I don't think it's entirely necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Rand, you like I'm not sure why someone would want to play an Alien game without seeing the Aliens movies, but to each their own.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they would be able to develop an appreciation for it because it is almost so tropey. But not
Yeah.
only that, like the absolute the spine of that game system, like you could lose everything else from that game system except for the way skills work.
True.
And that's the only thing that you would need to reinforce it because they don't have to they don't have to buy in their character is being mechanized in a particular direction.
Right.
And
Right.
the thing I absolutely love about the that thing is you're getting another die to roll. So
Mm-hmm.
are getting more powerful, but you're also getting clearly more on the edge.
Right.
Um, I think Doc had that experience because he had the character with my favorite trap talent, the one that lets you shave 2 points off when you're making a panic
Oh
roll.
yeah, that is such a broken, delicious talent. That's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good talent.
At one point, he's throwing around like a 17 die pool,
Yeah.
and like 9 of it is stress dice.
Yes. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. It's Carl, I think I've run, and I could be lying directly to your face, so just love me through this one, but I think I've run Alien once to someone who had never seen an Alien movie. I feel like I did it on Symphony's Discord or Facebook. And I remember, unless I'm wrong, I can't remember whether I was the mother or I was playing and like one of my adjacent players had never seen it. But either myself or the other GM, whoever the fuck it was, made the statement as like, it's alien in space. So as long as you, lean into like, strange and horrible things happen to you in space, you're kind of okay.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
during that game, I think it might have been Hope's Last Day, the module in the back of the Alien book.
yeah.
We never found the time to experience the alien life cycle. So
Mm.
the player not knowing that a face hugger turned into the big ones, the banana heads, or the banana heads had a queen, or blah blah blah, never really came. It never became a factor because all we were doing is running and trying to survive the entire time. So for them, they just had a great game where they were just running from aliens. I don't know if you would or should do any type of pivots for someone who's not familiar with the franchise. There's a part of me that's just like, oh, you've never seen an alien movie? Let me be your first chest bursting experience.
Yeah,
But then there's also a part of me that's like, go watch that movie and come play this game with me. So I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I feel like
That was
if
our game.
you,
Thank you.
yeah, I feel like if you know you're gonna play, then like if you're only ever gonna watch one Aliens movie, then just watch Aliens.
Yeah, the second one.
So,
Yeah. Yep.
but I mean, it's interesting. That's such an interesting question, and it ties back to kind of a weird experience I had back in college. Um,
Oh, here we go.
I thought not not
I'm
like
kidding.
that. Um,
It's Symphony.
it was no, it was really weird. Like, I went to a fairly like my first college that I went to was a fairly small, like conservative um, school out in the middle of Pennsylvania. And I got the fuck out of there as soon as I made some friends and was able to do so. But I took a film studies class, and one of the things that we had to do was analyze a scene. So
Okay.
I walked through and I analyzed the scene from the first movie where Dallas is in the ventilation shafts.
Yeah.
Um, and I we watched that, and like before we did all these things, we basically set it up so that we watched the clip, and then
Mm-hmm.
you got up and gave like a 5 minute talk about it, and the teacher had to call a pause after I showed that because I was like, I've seen Alien like a dozen times. More than half the class had, and he had to actually like pause the class for 10 minutes and let people go get like drinks of water and stuff like that because they hadn't seen that scene before. And one of the things I love about that scene is there's no blood, there's no like goriness, there's nothing inherently like gross about it, but it's just such a tense scene, and they just keep ratcheting the tension up and up and up.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you can get an experience like that somewhere in someone's Aliens first game, they're going to be absolutely hooked on the franchise.
Well articulated. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. 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 All right, Sugar Pie. Our last question for the evening from our backers is, let me make sure I'm not lying to myself and others. I do that sometimes. No, I'm not lying to myself and others, at least in this one. This is our last question. I pulled 5. Um, for a 3-episode arc, you really spread out the landscape for the player characters. Were you afraid of things going too off the rails with so much space to play in over the course of these 3 episodes? Or is this normally a longer playthrough with other tables? Because I know you said this is the third time you've run it, right? Second?
Second.
This is so you've run it
Second.
once, and then this was the second time that you've run it. So 3-episode arc, you really spread out the landscape. Were you afraid of things going too far off the rails with so much space to play in? Because we traveled, we went around. There was a lot to
Yeah.
explore. We very well could have just
Yeah, you guys very well could have. I had a couple of safety measures against that.
okay.
I think the chief of them is the companions, and that you had already spent in-game time building them up.
Yeah.
And but I didn't want to be an iron chain. Like, I didn't want to do something as crude as, having Vic call Palmer and be like, "There's weird monsters here. Please come save me." Um,
Right.
like,
Right.
I wanted to show, not tell. And the
Yeah.
fact that you guys got to see the face huggers and then the chest bursters, and then what they did in very short order to that, the claim jumper encampment.
Yes.
Um, and then having the storm roll in and things cut out, and the not being able to communicate very well with um the thing. I wanted that connection to be a rubber band, but um not like a pull chain. I wanted there to be just
Ooh.
this small constant nagging tug back towards where I planned to set the action.
Yeah.
But I had contingencies if you guys didn't do that. You guys could have very easily said, okay, we're going to go to one of the outlying places, or
Mm-hmm.
we're going to go deeper into the underground complex and try and figure out what the hell is there. I I had sketched out like 3 or 4 potential alternates.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and so one of the things I liked giving you guys that amount of space was it basically makes the sandbox huge. And once the sandbox gets big enough, it doesn't feel like a sandbox anymore. Um,
Interesting. Once the
it,
sandbox gets big enough, it doesn't feel like a sand. Walk me through your logic on that one. Talk me through it.
you know the concept of a sandbox game, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's anchored to a particular location. Same thing with this. You guys didn't have a ship. You couldn't just
Mm-mm.
jump on a ship and fly away. Um, and the sandbox, as it gets bigger, it doesn't you start not noticing the edges. So the fact that your guys' initial mission
Oh.
was you're gonna go walk for 2 weeks in that direction.
Yeah.
Like you in reality, like you guys just did some skill checks out there and explored some area, but narratively you were weeks out from the colony, which meant it felt like it had a huge amount of space. And then
Right.
whenever there is some weird things for con games and short burn games specifically, I try and anchor it by an emotional beat at the beginning, middle, and end of each session.
Okay.
Um, so is I don't care necessarily where that beat happens, just that it
That
happens.
it happens. Okay. Okay.
Um, so I kind of tied back to that some of the earliest advice, which I think is actually bad advice for a heroic game like D&D, but is good advice for a horror game, especially for a constrained one like the one I was running. It doesn't matter where the wizard's tower was put down on the map. It
No.
just matters that you get there. So if the players go east and the wizard's tower is west, well, maybe I take the bottom of that out, reskin it, and now it's over here as something else.
Right. Right. Interesting mindset there, Carl. Yeah. And I'm thinking about I'm sticking with the statement you made about the sandbox being the larger it feels, the less of a sandbox it really becomes. Because we
Mm-hmm.
did cover a lot of ground. We started in the compound with like mundane lives, but then we hit this whole underground cave complex. We could have spent
Mm-hmm.
the next 3 sessions there. We went back to the colony and then finally kind of delved into how big that colony was with the outlying
Mm-hmm.
outposts and warehouses, underground chambers, and what the actual map was. So, and then plus all
Yep.
that travel in between, like there were the nomadic people that were out there in the desert that we
Mm-hmm.
like. There were so many places in this world that we could have gone, could have stayed. But to your point, we all wanted to get back home, and then we wanted to
Yes.
defend home. So it's very easy. But we also could have been like, man, fuck that colony. That $1 million bonus is if we get more
Mm-hmm.
life forms. That's interesting. Okay.
And and you know what? Sometimes that's the end of the story. My intention behind it was that you guys would feel a connection to the colony, but if you got down there and figured mortal peril was enough to risk for 10 million credits each,
Yeah.
then okay, cool.
Okay.
I mean,
Sure.
then you still have to find a way to get back. You still have to find a way to get off planet. There's
Yeah.
one ship on the planet.
Yeah.
Um, but instead, because of that, you guys ended up in a position that I did not expect you to end up in. I had 3 potential escapes from the colony, and not one of them was the seed vault. You guys came up with the seed vault on your own, and I was like, that's great, because that's just like absolute fodder for a potential follow-up.
Yeah. 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 Which, spoilers, there is going to be a follow up. Carl is going to be very
Yeah,
busy.
yeah.
We demanded a follow up. So, yes, Carl is going to be very busy in 2024, guys. Sorry about that one. I got a headache, so y'all get big hair. Sorry, I had to pull that damn ponytail down. I pulled that down my hair like whoosh. Whatever. Y'all be all right. Interesting. Yeah. No. Well articulated. Well articulated. Butcher and Skip, y'all are trash, and I love y'all so much for it. Yes. Okay, adaptability is key. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, Carl, thank you so much, one, for running the long form Alien game. This was the first time Alien was on the Symphony. This is the first time another keeper has done. Hi, Gabriel. You want to say
Hey,
hi to
Gabe.
Uncle Carl? You usually can't come up on streams. You want to say hi to Uncle Carl? Come on. Let's be fast. Come on. Let's. Okay, guys. Gabriel, you're
Oh,
the big boy.
hello,
The
Gabe.
big boy. I know that the big boy. You're lucky. This is a stream you can actually join. Usually I shut the door in your face. Yes. So, Carl, thank you so. I know you're so in love. You're so neglected. Carl, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for
Thank you.
running Alien for us. Thank you for joining production staff. Like, oh my goodness, that's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. You're done. Thank you so much. Um, guys, that is going to conclude our lounge. Let's do this giveaway real fast. Gabriel, do you want to hit the button? You want to hit the giveaway button? You want to remind me that it's time to go outside? I know, you chunky mutt. He's like, listen. All right, guys. Our winner for the mystery dice is the doctor who had the audacity to talk like this during that entire stream, and I was ready to kill him. Congratulations, Doc.
Um, Excuse me. I think it was more like this. He put very specific emphasis on hunching his shoulders and talking from like low in his throat.
And from Lowness. Oh, God, that was so good. Congratulations, Doc, on your mystery dice. Guess what? I'm not shipping those bitches to you. I will see you in 3 weeks for Chaos in your con. Guys, thank you so much for joining us at the Symphony. The last thing I should have done is giving you attention because now you won't let it go. If you like this content and you would like to... Gabriel. If you like this content and you would like to watch me pet Gabriel some more, please back us on Patreon at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. Guys, thank you. Carl, welcome to the production team. Thank you for everything. And guys, I believe we are out. Mwah! Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Poor Gabriel.